Today I want to share with you a variety of different keyboard shortcuts that's going to make your life more efficient. And as you start to use these more and more, you're going to save time. You'll start to shave off minutes that you can use elsewhere, eventually leading up to hours. So here's some for just selecting different things. If I need to select a word, for example, treason, well, an easy way to select a word is just to double click in it. And it's highlighted it. Just double click. Sometimes I might need to select the whole paragraph though. I can just triple click in the paragraph and it will select that whole paragraph. So if I wanted to backspace that, I could right there. Speaking of backspacing and accidentally deleting things, Ctrl Z is another great one. Ctrl Z undoes your last action, so it will undo it. Another one that goes along with selecting things is if I need to select this whole thing, I could press Ctrl A, and Ctrl A will select everything in this document. And that's something that works across a lot of places, especially when thinking about selecting a variety of files. If you're in a file explorer, whether that's Google Drive or Windows or Mac, okay, you can use Ctrl A to select all of your files and then drag them where needed. Some other ones that you might use are some formatting techniques. And if I just hover over these all give me the keyboard shortcuts here. So this is great if I forget them or anything like that, I'll see them right here. So bold, Ctrl B, italic, Ctrl I, and underline, you guessed it, Ctrl U. So if I do treason, if I have this highlighted and I press Ctrl B, Ctrl I, Ctrl U, you'll see that we made this bold, italicize, and underline. And doing that same action will undo those. So it turns it off and on. Another thing we often do is a copy and paste, whether that's copying and pasting text or copying and pasting a file. Well, one of the easiest ways to do that, and this is a basic shortcut, Ctrl C, C for copy. And then I can go down here and Ctrl V for paste. Okay, so copy and paste. And I can undo that as well by that Ctrl Z button. Another one, instead of copying, maybe I want to take this and I want to copy it because I'm going to put it somewhere else, but I also want to delete it. Instead of using Ctrl C and then pressing backspace, I could use Ctrl X for cut. And you can remember that one because X kind of looks like an open scissors, like you're ready to cut something. So we can put that in right here, Ctrl V. This is another handy one I like. It's Ctrl F. Ctrl F for find. So in this case, we are going to find a word in this document. So for example, if I search for treason, I see that there are 34 cases of treason within this document, and each one is highlighted, and I can jump to each one to find it. This is especially helpful for larger documents or for navigating web pages. Maybe you've done a Google search and you've opened up a web page, you saw it had the key information you needed, but you don't want to spend all the time looking through it. If you use Ctrl F to get there, you'll be able to find that word that you need. Another one to go along with that, I might have a word that maybe was misspelled, or I want to just replace that word because I found a better word. If I do Ctrl H, that's find and replace. So I could find the word treason and I could replace with, we'll say, health. Okay, and I could click replace or replace all. And I have some other options for matching case or anything like that. I click replace all, and now if I do Ctrl F for Ctrl F for treason, those are all gone. And if I do Ctrl F for health, I see all 34 have been changed to health. So that's a great one for that. One that I use regularly, and this has definitely been a lifesaver for me, saving me a lot of time right here, is I need to make things link. So if I needed to make this word into a link, I could certainly do this, right click and click the link button, but we see the keyboard shortcut right here, Ctrl K. So if I just highlight it and press Ctrl K, I got my ability to link this text right here. So if I needed to link this, I could do Ctrl K, and then if I have it, my link already, I could just do Ctrl V to paste it in there. Speaking of trying to grab a link to copy and paste, or to do a search on this new tab, or to go to a new website on this tab that I'm currently on, instead of taking my time and going up here, I can just press Ctrl L, and that brings me up to my Omnibox right here. So I could use this in a variety of ways. If I needed to copy this link right here and then make another word that link, I can do Ctrl L, Ctrl C. I could double click my word, Ctrl K, Ctrl V, and then apply or click enter for that. And another one that you might use is print. You might go to File, Print. Well, use your keyboard shortcut, Ctrl P, P for print, and brings up the print dialog. So an easy way to get there. Here's a few of them for navigating different browser tabs and dealing with that. If I do Ctrl T, Ctrl T brings up a new tab. Okay, and if I do Ctrl N, it brings up a new window. So now I have this new window right here. And another one here, if I'm going to open up a couple tabs, if I do Ctrl W, it will close the current tab I'm on. So instead of even accidentally going up here and clicking that X, if I know I need to close this tab, just Ctrl W. And if I want to close a whole window, instead of going all the way over here, Ctrl Shift W will close that whole window. Speaking of accidentally closing things, sometimes I'll accidentally close a tab that I needed open. And maybe I closed it because I thought I didn't need it, but I needed to get right back there. Well, if I use Ctrl Shift T, that will bring up my most recently closed tab. And if I've been navigating to different places, you'll see the arrow history back here. So it will reload the history of that as well. And I can keep doing Ctrl Shift T to bring up previous ones as well. So if I wanted to close these, and just do Ctrl W to get rid of them. Speaking of navigating through tabs, sometimes I need to get to my next tab, but instead of going up here and clicking, I can use things like Ctrl 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 to get to my first 8 tabs. And then Ctrl 9 will get me to my last tab. I could also, on a Chromebook, use a 3-finger swipe, left or right, to navigate to these different tabs. And you can kind of see that happening in my browser tab at the top. I could also do Ctrl Tab, and that will cycle me through my tabs from left to right. And if I need to go the other way, I just add in Shift, and that makes me go from right to left. Speaking of tab, one that I can't show right here, but if you're ever entering in a username or password, or you're filling out a form, you can always press Tab to go to the next box. So for example, if I have to type in my username right here, I could press Tab to go to the next box and start typing in my password instead of having to type in and then go to my mouse and click on it. Last couple that I want to show you is I really like to work in side-by-side mode. I like my tabs, if I'm working on 2 tabs, I like them side by side so I could see them. And in the past, I would always take this, I would unmaximize it, and then I would drag it over to the side. I would take my other one and do the same thing, and then bring it over here. Okay, and that took a little bit of work, but I found a couple of tricks right here. If I do Alt and left or right square bracket, that will automatically bring it to the side of the screen that I want. So I can just pop that over there, and then this one can go right over here, and boom, I got them side by side. If I needed to bring that back to full screen, I could just do Alt and =. So those are great ones for working side by side. If you're on a Chromebook, you probably need to also take screenshots at some point. So Control and the switch window button, which for my Chromebook is right above the number 6. It looks like a rectangle with 2 lines on the right side. So if I press that, it will take a screenshot. But sometimes I just want a portion of my screen. if I do Ctrl Shift and the switch window button, I can then select what I want right here. I can copy it to clipboard as well, and then I can come over here to a document or anything that I need to paste it in and put it right there. So I hope that some of those keyboard shortcuts are really handy for you. If you're on a Chromebook and you ever forget some of these keyboard shortcuts, or you just want to browse, do Ctrl Alt and the / and that will bring up this keyboard shortcut menu, and you can see some popular ones and some other ones for different things right here. This is especially handy for accessibility if you accidentally turned on a voice reader, a screen reader, or anything like that. You could use this to easily find that shortcut to take it off. So I hope you learned something, and I hope that you take those skills and start to use them regularly.